What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us today. My name is Ola.
My name is Alan.
And I'm representing Train 300, and Al is representing
Pike's Peak Performance.
Okay, Pike's Peak Performance.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about building muscle and burning fat. Is it possible? Now, before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe to the page, click the link below, and also like and send a comment if you have any questions or you want us to make videos about anything else. So the key subjects that we're going to be talking about today is what does it take to lose fat, what it takes to build muscle, cardio's role in fat loss, lean bulking versus dirty bulking, and the overall, what we feel is the overall best way to achieve your fitness goal. Building muscle and burning fat. Is it possible? Let's start off with that.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Now, when you get into the deeper levels of calorie deficit, I think it gets minimized to a certain degree. But yeah, I think it is.
Losing fat, what does it take to start with that?
First and foremost, you got to be in a calorie deficit from where you currently are. You have to do that by cutting some food out or maybe increasing your calorie burn, basically, at the surface level of it.
Also, the quality of food that you take, staying away from processed food, staying away from foods you could be possibly allergic to that might cause bloating. I usually tell my clients, as far as like with fat loss, making sure that you're drinking plenty of water because that helps with the digestive system too, gut health.
Right.
Yeah, so staying on top of that.
And then, like you said, cleaning it up, you gotta have nutrient-dense foods, because if you're trying to diet on foods that don't have a high nutritional content, you could risk going into some deficiencies. And with those deficiencies, sometimes your body responds to it by causing you to have hunger cravings, which is gonna go against your whole dieting process.
What do you think about people who use if it fits your macros?
Hey, that's a perfect example right there. Yes, general sense, you're hitting your calorie deficit, right? But then again, you fall into risk of devoid of nutrients, which is going to cause you to have some craving issues down the line. As
far as what we believe is the best for fat loss, what it takes to lose fat, your nutrition, making sure that you're eating nutrient-dense foods that you can digest properly, making sure you're drinking plenty of water.
Right. Fibrous foods are going to keep you fuller longer, keep you from going out, binging, having hunger cravings. So I think that's very important. It's also going to help you out in other ways, like lowering your cholesterol and keeping you regular.
Yeah, and we also talked about gut health as well.
That ties in right along with that.
Making sure probiotics and stuff, and making sure you're drinking those green vegetables. It basically all revolves around food, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And calories and how many vitamins you get in, and just the nutrients overall. What does it take to build muscle next? Okay. So what's your take on that?
Well, building muscle, I think in a general sense, you're looking at training in the 10 to 12 rep range. And then you're also looking to progressively get stronger within that rep range. So I think that's a basic, start. And then, we talked about losing weight, being in a calorie deficit. Now we're kind of moving more towards a calorie surplus.
Right. Because you have to make sure that you're eating enough for your body to replicate those muscle building cells and everything like that. And if you're at a deficit, then you're gonna have a harder time with building the muscle tissue and everything like that.
Right, yeah, because you're sending the signal for building the muscle, but you don't have any raw material to actually lay the foundation for it then.
And then the type of training that you do, you were saying 10 to 12 rep range, lifting heavy weights. What is it called? The overload principle.
Yeah,
progressive overload principle. Using that to kind of constantly build, making sure that you're getting in that proper nutrition. Nutrition is always going to be one of those things that we talk about when it comes to fitness. Making sure you're getting enough protein, whether you're eating meat or whether it's vegan. You got to make sure that you're getting that protein in. You ever had vegan clients?
Yeah, the goal can definitely be achieved if you are a vegan. You mentioned protein. it's important that you're getting a complete amino acid profile if you're a vegan. So, you know, you could be focusing on, you know, certain non-meat protein sources as a vegan, but if you're not getting the correct amino acid sequence, then you're not getting the complete protein resulting in the combination of those foods, and it's going to be hard for you to build muscle very effectively.
Right. There are different types of amino acid, and then certain groups of or certain amino acids build complete protein. As far as like the essential proteins, there's essential proteins that your body needs. And then complete protein is just basically everything that your body needs in order to build muscle. It's just making sure you're getting all your protein. Now, when you go to the store, when you look it up, they do have certain plants, not a lot, but there are like certain plants that might have complete protein. Meat has complete protein for the most part, and it's easier for you to just go to meat if you're trying to get complete protein.
Yeah, that's why if you look on the back of a vegan protein, usually you'll see several different plant ingredients in there. Like sometimes you would have pea protein, sometimes you would have protein coming from
sunflower. We got the protein. Should have brought that in there.
Yeah, so you know, it takes knowing exactly what you're getting from each food and knowing how to combine it. So it's going to take a little bit of diligence on your part if you want to go about building muscle vegan, but it can be accomplished if you know, take the time to map it out.
Yeah, especially. So building muscle, making sure that you have those, you're having a surplus of calories, and also that you're doing a regimen, a routine. And basically nutrition is what it takes to make sure that you're building muscle. As far as like cardio's role in burning fat, how do you think cardio plays a role into fat loss? And do you think that everybody needs to do cardio for fat loss?
First of all, everybody doesn't need it. You know, so you have some people who can, you know, actually consume a lot of food and stay relatively thin, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know a guy actually, he does powerlifting and doesn't do cardio, super lean, and I feel like it's, you know, genetically, you know, he eats a lot of carbs, you know, decent amount of protein, and just does a lot of powerlifting consistently. Yeah. And he seems to just stay low body fat, just lean, ripped.
Yeah. So the amount that you may require is going to differ compared to the next individual. Like, what purpose does it serve? In the general sense, you're definitely going to go deeper into your calorie deficit with that. You know, basic example, you can look on your treadmill when you get done with 30 minutes of cardio, you can see how many calories you burn based off of, you know, its calculation.
Right.
But then, you know, it can stimulate your metabolism too, depending on, you know, the different types of cardio you're doing. You know, like steady state, you know, you might get a little slight stimulation in your metabolism compared to HIIT, which is going to give you that, 48 hour afterburn.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, you got different levels of stimulation of your metabolism coming from cardio, as well as being in that deficit.
There are people who might have the metabolism like the bodybuilder, the Blade. What's his real name?
Dexter Jackson. Yeah.
Dexter Jackson. He barely does cardio, and he only does it just for like heart health and everything like that.
Right.
But you know, it's easy for him to stay lean as far as when it comes to muscle building and everything like that. So you got people who are, you know, around, might be like him, and then you might have people who might have maybe slower metabolisms that might need to do a little bit of extra work, or you know, who might need to hit that target heart rate in order to promote a little bit more of that fat burning metabolism.
Right.
So cardio's role, do everybody need it? Not necessarily, but it can help those, and depending on what type of cardio you're doing or what type of training you're doing outside of weight training, that can help with promoting fat loss. So we're gonna go into lean bulking versus dirty bulking, which I think will get closer to our overall question: can you burn fat and build muscle at the same time? So what's lean bulking? What's dirty bulking?
Lean bulking is getting into a calorie surplus by choosing nutrient-dense, high-quality foods. You know, basically the same types of foods that you might diet on, now you're looking at actually building muscle on. So you're eating them in a greater quantity. Now, on the other hand, dirty bulking is Okay, let's say you have a calorie goal set in mind, and you're gonna get it by any means necessary. Donuts, burgers, pizza, anything.
That's if it fits your macro thing.
Right.
if
Everything
it
is
fits,
a go.
You can get it. If I can get it in there,
Yeah.
then it's part of the meal plan now. It is.
Yeah. So like, what are some of the pitfalls of, let's say, dirty bulking in your opinion?
So with dirty poking, you gain a lot of excess fat that, so if you ever plan on getting lean, which I feel like more people are moving towards being healthier with their eating, even like power lifters, like the strongest mans and stuff like that. I've seen a transition for them, even though they're still kind of a bigger set.
Yeah.
They are eating like cleaner. They're just not eating cheeseburgers.
Yeah. I used to see back in the day, like one guy, Mariusz Pujanowski, he said he ate a pound of bacon a day.
A pound of bacon a day. Yeah, it's asking for a heart attack.
I'm telling you.
So everybody, from what I've seen, everybody is moving towards eating cleaner. But dirty bulking, you gain a lot of excess weight. There are health risks when you start eating whatever you want without being cautious of nutrition. It's harder to lose the fat when you have an excess amount of it, and it's just, for some people it's not as comfortable, you know what I'm saying, and you don't get details, or you lose a lot more details from dirty bulking.
Right. It's hard to gain an excessive amount of body fat if you're eating nutrient dense foods.
Why would somebody do dirty bulking?
I think that it's easy. it takes a lot less effort to go into McDonald's versus get in the kitchen and spend hours preparing meals for the whole week. Especially if you are in a calorie surplus now.
Yeah.
Now you got that much more cook time ahead of you. So
yeah,
I think the convenience is one of the main reasons.
You were saying something about, it was a subject as far as body fat percentage and muscle building. Touch up on that, because you were saying something about you can build, somebody was saying that you can build muscle better at a lower body fat percentage.
Yeah, I think that it's possible just from looking at how, for bodybuilders, for example, when they're right around the middle of a contest prep, when they start really digging in and you start seeing the body transforming, a lot of weight hasn't been lost, compared to where they started, but then you start seeing the muscles becoming more round, a lot more shape, sometimes even more fullness in the muscle right around the middle. And so that led me to believe that, after hearing a lot of coaches talk about it, I started to analyze it for myself, and I said, okay, it might be something to it,
What body percentage were they saying that, like around, do you remember?
Actually, they were saying some pretty low percentage numbers. It was somewhere between 6 and 10%.
Between 6 and 10%?
6 and 10 was what they were saying. Now, for me, I don't know. And a lot of people that I know, not quite that low, but it might depend on if you got a little bit of extra going on. But I've seen it though, where, people get into a contest prep and the muscles, become more full, even if they're not using a lot of, enhancements and whatnot. So.
That sounds like that deserves its own video.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, it deserves its own video as far as that, something to look into. Overall, best way to achieve your goals. So lean bulking, I think lean bulking would be basically the best way to describe can you build, or best answer for can you build muscle and burn fat, is it possible? There's a difference between burning fat and losing weight.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
That need to be said too, because just because you're losing weight, or just because you're burning fat, it doesn't always mean weight loss necessary.
Yeah, I mean, you could mess around and, let's say, have a certain amount of weight loss and actually be a smaller version of where you started from. If you just shooting to see the scale go down. Yeah. But now you start setting out goals as far as the amount of protein that you're consuming every day, the types of workout program that you're participating in. Now you can, be focusing on maintaining your lean muscle tone and then stripping away the layers of fat on top of that. Yeah. And then now you got a true transformation taking place and not really just becoming a smaller version of where you started from,
Because I've had clients who've, when you take measurements as far as like the inches, a lot of clients that are, I've had clients who will say, I'm losing inches, but I'm losing inches, but I'm not losing weight. So that would be a good example of fat burning.
Right.
Because if your body is physically getting smaller, you know, but your weight isn't dropping drastically fast, you know, that's a sign of, okay, you're burning fat.
Yeah.
You know, you've been working out, you're burning fat, and then there's also a little bit of muscle building at the same time to kind of even it out. And that's usually what is recommended as the best way for achieving your fitness goals, making sure you're not doing anything drastic. You know, if you got time, you're not everybody's trying to, you know, do a bodybuilding show in 2 months. So I think to each his own. You have to kind of go at your own pace, and then go, you know, as far as just eating at that deficit. Yeah. Not too much, not too little.
And not getting discouraged with that scale.
Oh yeah, because the scale will discourage you, and then you won't be motivated. You feel like, am I doing this for nothing? That's why it's important to take those measurements as well, and take before and after pictures. And I got a couple of before and after pictures of my clients where they didn't lose a lot of weight, but their body looked drastically different. Yeah. You know, and that's burning fat, building muscle.
Yeah, definitely.
That concludes our video. Again, if you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe to the page. And we'll be coming together for sure to talk about another subject as far as with like whether it's weight loss or nutrition and everything. So make sure you guys tune in. You have a website that you want to promote, or how can people contact you?
Well, right now, you can hit me up on Instagram. The handle is Allen_Pike, ALLEN_PIKE on Instagram. And I got a YouTube page. You can check out the videos. That's Pike Peak Performance on YouTube. So,
yeah, and you guys, if you want to contact me, go to www.train300.com. And then we can go from there. You can book a consultation virtual, or you can book a consultation in person if you're near the St. Louis area. All right, so thanks.
Peace.
That's it.